Good afternoon, Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights Consulting, VELCO Weather Hazards Forecaster. On this Sunday afternoon, we're looking at a couple short waves moving across the country, and one basically vacating very super cold air mass. It's working its way out to sea and is no longer a factor. Instead, we have temperatures more or less warming up back across the lower 48 United States, remaining fairly cold across most of northern Canada, and sort of moderation effects with these frontal boundaries working on through mostly just about west to east. Let's take a look at some of the computer modeling world. GFS ensemble on the right, we have the European model on the left. This is valid at 1 o'clock this afternoon. And you can see that basically that band of snow showers and flurries along this frontal boundary is going to stay out of Vermont and basically dissipate. It's going to drag very, very close to the northern tier regions, and overall I'm not really anticipating anything to worry about, as we have kind of primarily higher pressure that's going to try to build in, and the overall trends are basically good project weather the rest of Sunday, all day Monday, and all day Tuesday up to about daylight. That would be the caveat, as the next weather system developing out in the west will begin to push on to the east. Checking that out, looking at this system here, this is going to be just a little bit of a kind of mixed snow shower and rain shower activity with this frontal boundary that works on through, and then high pressure builds in slightly after that. But we're looking at this system here that's going to be one of these kind of cutter systems to our west. It's not especially strong, but it does work into the Great Lakes, powers up a little bit. There could be some channeling winds in the Champlain Valley that reach close to thresholds, but generally winds appear to be below thresholds. But this will bring us a transition from a little bit of wet snow, some mixed precipitation types, and eventually that'll change to all rain as this system basically heads east and traverses out to sea. Beyond that point, it does look like the frontal system is kind of lingers here, and then we're getting into a little bit more some scattered flurries or minor snow shower activity. Beyond the point of our outlook here, high pressure will then build in, but eventually we could see a much colder air mass and perhaps something that might develop along the eastern seaboard. Something to watch. This is beyond the period. That would be along about Sunday night or Monday before that would happen. Looking at the GFS ensemble centered on Montpelier's grid, this is valid again going out through the outlook period here and beyond. This is the 3-hourly QPF. We can see a little bit of precipitation here in the form of some light snow shower and flurry action just described. It looks like just about every other day. This would be the more perspective of this shield of snow that will change and transition to mixed precipitation types and eventually some rain. And again, it kind of scatters out with the frontal system kind of lingering along about Friday. And then beyond that point, another area of higher pressure to build in. Total QPF looks like this, and again, we're talking about minutia here. This is 2/10, 4/10, and 5/10. We only get around total through this entire period around a ½ inch or so, so we're not looking at anything major in terms of precipitation, but this is about near normal for the period. And what you're seeing here across the country, it's starting to resume a rainier weather pattern, not so much in California, but certainly up in the Pacific Northwest, then drier east of the Rockies, and then another weather pattern that's bringing some Gulf of Mexico moisture with that area of low pressure that'll track into the Great Lakes late this week and then work its way and just about due eastward. The net effect is bringing about 1 inch to about a ½ inch of total precipitation. And looking at the temperature anomalies, 2-meter temperature anomalies from the University of Maine Climate Reanalyzer, you can see that some pretty cold Arctic air, some cold anomalies are up in the northern areas of Canada, which we saw that early on at the start of this this video. And we're seeing some blocking across Greenland. This is kind of causing a negative NAO kind of set up here. And so a lot of cold air is kind of sliding through Canada. But from coast to coast, we've got that Pacific moisture working in, at least in the northern regions. And the net effect, looking at the MOS mean here, the next 5 days of higher temperatures, you can see that it's cooling down in the west again, and then we've got some cold weather in the interior sections of the Rockies, interior west. But warmer than normal temperatures are working our way, and that is going to be the case as we're back into a mild, kind of moderate kind of scenario with above normal temperatures each day after that big cold outbreak. 3 days later, looks like this, running about 6 to 12 degrees above normal. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights Consulting. Thanks for watching.